I forgot how timers work.
Oh, okay. So we're good.
We're good.
Wait,
We're
are we
live.
live?
We're live.
Okay.
Yes.
Look
Yes.
at you. How fucking dare you, Robert? I
I was like,
immediately was like, I won't be caught off guard this time. I'm gonna be looking at the camera. I'm gonna be ready to go. And then Schmutz McGee over here is the one that messed it up.
I was literally looking at your because the stuff that we use to shoot, I can see like little bubbles of each person's like camera or whatever that's on
Uh
here,
huh.
and I just see yours with just your face literally like this, like staring. I was like, why is he staring at me? And I looked up and I see just the countdown finish. I'm like, oh, that's why. That's why. It's fine. We haven't done this in a while, but hey, welcome to the Geek Day podcast. I
Ah.
returned your weekday into a geek day. I am one of your hosts, Rob, and with me today I have my fellow co-host, Mr. Alex Moon. Alex, how you doing, big dog?
I am doing good. Oh God, everything's going wrong right now. Hold up. Okay. I was like, let me take this off Bluetooth so it doesn't go into the mixer while I'm doing this. And then it went Bluetooth disconnected. And then I turned it on and it was max volume. Anyway, I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. It feels like forever since I've seen your face. And I'll be honest with you, Robert, not long enough.
Oh, okay.
Robert's like, damn. Also, I am loving your either Venom and or Black Suit Spider-Man hat. I don't know
Thank
which one it
you.
is.
It is Black Suit Spider-Man. I got it at
Okay,
Box
cool.
Lunch a few years back, but I've
Ooh.
been getting back into the hat game. Well, I feel like I've never left the hat game, but when I'm trying to get like better, more nerdy hats, I'm trying to up wear my stuff. Where it's like I used to wear a ton of just like regular graphic tees just all the time, and my wife
Hmm.
when we got together for the like from the very beginning, she threw
Yeah,
them all away because she's like, "You're an adult." I'm like, "So true, queen." And so now when I buy
but
the
now
nerdy
you're
stuff,
married. Now you have
now
her
I'm married.
trapped.
Exactly.
You can do what
Yes.
you want. Yeah.
Shout out Solar Punk. What up, Solar Punk? Says Butch Lunch sometimes
No,
has
no.
really quality stuff. They do. They have a lot of really cool X-Men stuff out right now, and I really, really want it. And we might talk about that in a little bit. I'm very excited to
You,
get into
you,
that.
you're gonna go out and get yourself that new what is it? Is it the Alan Moore X-Men jacket that they
Oh,
have over there?
the no, it's the Morrison run.
Morrison. Why did I
Yeah,
say
yeah.
Alan Moore? Hey, I had more in there.
You did. You did have
I'm
more in there.
dyslexic. Um, but yeah, no, that looks really great. I saw it the other day because we also stopped by Box Lunch. We almost bought the Spider-Man hat that they had there. Like
Mm.
like Solar Punk said, they have really good merch. And honestly, I feel like it's really hard. Like Box Lunch, to go on off on the side tangent. Box Lunch is one of those places that has really cool nerd shit. That's like tasteful nerd shit. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like there's some nerd stuff where it's all like, do you want the superhero's face on everything 50 times? And then there are other stuff where it's like, do you want a cool shirt or a cool hat with a tasteful logo? Yes,
Yeah,
I
that's
do want
exactly right.
that.
And it's gonna
Yeah,
be $90.
yeah, that is the
Yeah,
drawback.
that is the drawback. Yes.
They're
Shout
like,
out
would you like to set up your Affirm account?
Shout out Noodle, what up? Hot Topic has some really cool zip up hoodies. They do, but I don't fit into Hot Topic anymore. I'm a big boy. But anyways,
You
Alex,
don't
before
fit
we,
into Hot Topic anymore?
I don't honestly. I think even when I was younger, I feel like they size everything down because like when I was younger, I wore a lot of Hot Topic where I'd get like a medium shirt. But I don't know if it was like the 2010 style or whatever, but like anytime I would lift my arms up, the shirt would go up to like mid stomach, and I'm like, this is
Oh
not
yeah, dude.
for
No,
me.
I'm dealing with that right now as we speak. I have this Captain America shirt. This is a 2X Captain America shirt. And I usually fit into 2Xs. I'll get 3Xs if I want it to be a little bigger because I'm a big boy. But look at this shit, Robert.
Yeah, yeah.
I put up my arms and everything just spills out. And I'm not built I'm not normally a spillage kind of big guy.
Yeah, I have that Catholic
Hold
guilt
up, I
that
can't hear shit he's
no, you're
saying.
good. It's like I have
What was
that
that?
Catholic guilt, that Catholic shame where I'm like I need to hide my body 1000% of the time. So it's like anytime I'm like even my figure is shown just a little bit. I'm like I need something bigger. Shout out to my wife that says I guess I'll go return this Hot Topic haul I got for you. Whatever. Uh,
Dang.
hey,
So I'm not she's not returning it because you were talking bad. She was like, I forgot he was a fat ass. And she's taking it back right
I
now.
got him all this medium sized stuff, so I guess I got to go return it. Alex, it's been a while since we've talked to each other about any
Been
of the nerd
wow.
stuff. I want to know what nerdy stuff have you gotten to lately?
Well, first off, I want to Noodle saying, wait, Rob, are all your socials the same as the tag under your name?
Yes, they are. All of them.
Dang, look at you. And mine are just Alex Moon TV. I don't need to put my socials. You know who I am.
You do.
Uh, the most head ass thing I've said all week. Anyway, and I say a lot of head ass things. Thank you for speaking for me, Alex. You're very welcome, Joe. If there's one thing I've learned about women is that they love that. So now as far as nerdy stuff, well, it was my birthday recently.
It was.
And honestly, I've mentioned it a few times in videos because I was doing like hauls and stuff, and I hate it because it makes me feel like that one video where the guy's like everybody made fun of that guy holding a gun to his girlfriend's head. Like, it's
Oh.
my birthday, and,
Mhm.
Anyway, I picked up a bunch of cool Captain America stuff, and I've been reading through it all. I just got done reading Captain America and the Mighty Avengers. Baby Moon actually recently has gotten into there's a new show called Iron Man and His Awesome Friends, which is a riff on Spidey and his amazing friends on Disney Junior. And she has gotten into Iron Man recently, so we actually are in the middle of an Iron Man movie marathon. So we finished the
Oh.
first one last night. We kind of stopped halfway on the second one right now. And we're kind of deciding if we're going to just watch all the Iron Man movies or if we're going to like do all the Avengers films as well. Um, but other than that, man, just reading a lot, getting excited about some of these trailers, getting not so excited about some of these trailers, which I know we'll talk about. But Bobbert, what about you? What nerdy shit have you been getting up to this week, sir?
I've actually, for the first time in forever, have been doing nerdy shit, Alex. I'm very excited to say
Look
that.
at you. You
I
just needed
know.
3 weeks off. I'm
I and you know what? For the first time, and I think a month and a half, I went and I bought comics. I actually bought stuff. So it started off. My wife and I went to Half Price Books, and I guess now the one that we went to, they had a $2 comic bin aisle. So we just went through there because usually they have the comics in there, but they're still like $4 or $5 or whatever. This one was literally just like, here, boom, these are all $2 in here. So I went through there. I picked up. I guess there's a solo Robin series. So I picked up two through
Ooh,
five of those.
damn.
So excited to check those out.
Those are great.
Um,
They're
and
genuinely
then
really good.
one of the comics that you gifted me from that big thing that you did a long time ago were
Oh
some
gosh.
Gambit comics, and I found issues 1 and 2 that was not in that haul, so I got those up. And then last but not least, I found your op, but X Force, written and drawn by Rob Liefeld. But if it makes you feel any better, it's about secondhand, so it's not going directly to him. So,
I have a little funny aside about Rob Liefeld, and this is all I will talk about Rob Liefeld because so
Corbett.
when it was my birthday, no, me and Baby Moon, we went to the comic buying center, my favorite place in the whole goddamn planet, and we were going through comics, and they had a bunch of really dope comics that I really wanted, and I've been thinking about getting back the I used to have the full series of Rob Liefeld's Captain America run.
Hmm.
And I always see issue one every now and then, but it's always the second printing. I want like the first printing of the thing. Well, I was at the comic buying center and they had it there. And because they have like a big room where it's like $2 comics and another room where it's more organized and they're kind of priced differently. And I was like, oh, it's like, I think it was like 10, no, it was like $5. And I was like, oh, do I want this? I kind of want to start the series, but I kind of told myself I wanted to complete it again because I used to have it and I don't anymore. But now Rob Liefeld hates me, so now I don't like now I don't know what to do. And it was
Hmm.
funny because my daughter was there, and I was like, and I also had given myself a budget. I was like, this is the budget I'm going to be on. I think it was actually like a $10 comic, but anyway, I was like. I want to spend like 80, $90 here. Do I want to waste 10 towards this comic? And she was like, why don't you want to get it? Just get it. It's your birthday. And I was like, baby, you don't understand. And there was another guy there looking at comics next to us, and he looked at me like I was fucking insane. But I was like, baby, you don't understand. The guy who draws this hates your daddy. And and So we did end up getting it, but I just you reminded me of that.
That's so
But
funny.
how dare you?
And then I would say my last thing before we jump into our first topic, because we got a lot
Tell
to
me
talk
what is
about
up,
today,
Shane?
is that I have been absolutely enjoying the hell out of X-Men 97. I feel like, okay, there's a couple of things that I've been seeing online about this. I've been
Okay.
seeing that everyone really loves X-Men 97, that it is fantastic, it's awesome.
Hmm.
However, a lot of people are also disliking it because they say that the pace is way too fast, which I agree for some stuff. Don't get me wrong.
Hmm.
I think that with like the way that they're going right now is all right for me because it is supposed to be a 30-minute Saturday morning cartoon. It comes out on Wednesdays, but it's supposed to have
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
feel like back in the original ones. But I
Hmm.
do think that there are in this weird middle space where they are definitely elevating the storytelling into something that's way more enjoyable, but not necessarily just for kids, definitely for fans of like the comics back in the
Yeah.
80s 90s.
Hmm.
But they're walking this really weird line where they don't know where to go, and especially with it being only like I think 10 episodes, that I'm like, okay, I get the how fast it's supposed to be. I do think
Yeah.
if it was that 24 episode thing, I'd be okay with it. But I do think this last episode was very great. No spoilers. It is, but it is like Polaris centered. Around it's centered around Polaris, so there is some really cool stuff with that, especially if you've been kind of catching up with the story overall that has been going on so far. Let's see. We have
I,
Hell's
I
Kitchen. Oh, good.
Oh no, I was gonna say, I was trying. This sucks. This absolutely sucks. So you brought up a good point that there's only 10 episodes,
Hmm.
and they used to play with like I believe like around 20 episodes, like
Hmm.
originally when the show was like on in the 90s.
Hmm.
And I was gonna look up, well, what was the original episode count? Because maybe that makes sense of why it's going so fast. But I can't look up X-Men 1997 season one because it brings me X-Men 97 season one. I can't look up the original fucking show.
I believe it was
And
X-Men 92.
was it in 1992? Did it
Yeah.
end in 97?
So I'm not sure. I just know that this series takes place in 97, but I know that the series started in 92.
Let me see. Did it? Let me see. Oh no, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
So season one had 13 episodes. Season two, okay, no, all these seasons actually
They're pretty
looks
short.
like they all had about third. No, okay. The third season has 19 episodes. All the other ones are 13 episodes. And then the fourth has 21. So they were definitely working with more episodes. But I
Mhm.
would think the other thing, and this is just my theory, a game theory. Do you think that they're doing that to kind of catch the middle ground of older people who like the comics and like the show, but also like, hey, we need to jam pack a lot of stuff in so these younger kids can also pay attention.
One
You
thousand percent.
know?
It is
Yeah.
that. It is that like Star Wars. I would say like probably Star Wars episodes 1, 2, and 3, where it is. It really walks that line between like we're talking about trade and all these different things, and then
Yeah.
also Misa Jar Jar Binks. Like it is that.
I hear you. It's a weird like, hey, we're gonna exposition dump, and then we're gonna give you a 30-minute action scene at
Yeah,
the beginning of episode three, and it's like, oh shit, okay.
yeah,
So yeah, no, I
definitely.
totally feel you. Let me see here.
Have,
Let's see.
have either of y'all
Hell's Kitchen
read?
Comics
Yeah, and
asked,
Exquisite Corpses. I have volume 1 literally like right there. I have
have you
not
read it?
touched it yet. No, I have not
How
touched it.
dare you?
I bought it a long time ago at Half Price Books, but I have not been able to touch it yet. I do want to check it out. How about you, Alex? Have you read any Corpses?
I've not read any Exquisite Corpses. It's
How
going to
dare
be
you?
one of those things where, like, Absolute Batman, I'm going to read it in a year, and then I'm going to be like, "This is so good, everybody was right." Like, you know. But Rob, the transition from that, we got a lot of stuff to cover. We
Yes, we
got a lot
do.
of shit that came out recently. And before we get into there's some trailers and stuff that we want to talk about. But before we get into that, I'd like to first hit on two things. One, Marvel's having their Hall H panel tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay. And we are such good podcasters. We are such good journalists. We have decided to do this show the day before. Um because that's the type of content we
Hard
like to
hitting.
bring you.
Yeah,
Um so one, I want to talk about what we think we're going to see, but before that, we've officially, at least it looks like we've officially gotten that we're not getting Blade,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So you were kind of reading more into that. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so it's not official yet, but there have been reports of people that have worked on Blade or that were doing the pre-pro on Blade, and it basically said, "Hey, Blade is not moving forward." As well as the director of Blade and Ali actually just made or have made or are making a brand new movie together right now that's based in Houston. So, with that being said, damn, that sucks. It is very from like everything that I saw on like Reddit, people talking about it was that like, oh, Wesley Snipes' joke about there's only ever going to be one Blade is looking very very true, and especially I don't know if you also know this, there was a Blade game being made. Well,
Yeah.
there still is, but the studio that is making it is in a lot of financial trouble right now. So that plug could also be pulled very, very soon. Um,
Hmm.
how are you feeling about that? I don't know if you're a huge Blade fan. I know Blade's pretty awesome. The original movies are pretty good. Um,
Yeah. To me, Blade is one of those heroes that is very much you're not like Kane Oxley in the comment or in the chat here. And then real quick, Noodle says, "What was the hate on the Rogue miniseries?" I didn't read it. I just heard it was super bad.
I didn't read it
Um,
either, unfortunately.
I saw like a recap of it, and what they were recapping, I was like, this needed to be 5 or 6 issues. That's crazy. Anyway, but yeah, no, Blade is one of those characters that I feel like is a big like legacy character for Marvel. He
Hmm.
helped kick off what we see today as like the modern superhero gold rush that we had, and hopefully we'll get back. But I mean, I was always really excited to see it. I'll be honest, I was more excited about Mahershala Ali being attached to it than necessarily Blade as a character himself. I think Blade, and it's just me. Maybe I'm gonna get crucified or stabbed by a stake, but I think Blade is a character that lends himself much better to like a series.
I agree.
I think that would be Blade's playing field a little bit better. But with that being said, I wasn't not excited about the film. It does suck that they couldn't, I guess, crack this story, and I think unfortunately Blade is a casualty of, hey, we're going to greenlight all these projects and just throw them out. And then when they finally went, hey, let's actually step back and do some quality control, Blade was the first one that kind of felt the brunt of that, which it's kind of like, that sucks, but it's also like, you dodged a bullet, maybe, Blade?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. How do you feel about it, Rob?
I think I'm gonna say point out Noodle right here that says the general public just doesn't care about Blade anymore. I honestly don't think that's true. I think it's that they don't know how good a Blade thing can be.
Yeah.
I don't think like Blade is underrated in any sense. Like I don't think like it can be like, oh hey, like you don't know Blade. I think everyone knows Blade, but I don't think like anyone has sat down and made something that is a perfect Blade sort of story that could be made. And I agree with you 100%. I think that if they were able to move over one, unfortunately, I think you have to recast Mahershala, you have to recast Blade,
Yeah.
and then I would say do a low budget Blade TV show for Disney Plus. Give me 10 episodes to start that because I mean that can introduce the whole supernatural part of the MCU that we've kind of got with Werewolf by Night, but I mean, we could start getting other stuff. Midnight Suns. We introduced Black Knight kind of at the end of the Eternals, but they kind of also like who are the Eternals? Like now. So I think that could be a lot of really really cool stuff if and when they do get to it. Because I do think for now eventually they'll get to it. I think once they start scrubbing, the bottom of the barrel of characters, like we have all the big names out. Let's get to the. I hate saying Blade is a B tier character, but a B tier character like
I mean, but
Blade.
Blade is kind of,
Yeah,
a B tier character, and there's nothing wrong with that. Blade is a great character, absolutely. And actually, I was recently reading. There was a Falcon series from I forgot the year, but anyway, there was a Falcon series. It was actually Falcon's first like ongoing series he's ever had, and Blade makes an appearance in that, and he was so great. But again, I think Blade is great in a wheelhouse, like a Deadpool and Wolverine, like you said, maybe even a Midnight Suns, where he's either a team or if we're going to give him a dedicated thing, I feel like a show is better suited towards Blade. So while it does suck, I'm also of the mindset of like, honestly, probably best case scenario, I'd rather us not be able to crack a story for Blade and have to wait on something Blade related
Yeah.
than just throw out some bullshit.
No, I
Just for
agree.
the sake of saying we have Blade thing. Um, but yeah. So, but with that being said, Robert, outside of the cancellation stuff, let's talk about stuff that we know that we're going to get or hoping that we're going to get. Marvel is going to do a Hall H panel tomorrow at San Diego Comic Con. There's already been some great stuff. If you guys haven't been following on with San Diego Comic Con stuff, there is some amazing like setups for Doomsday. We're seeing all the costumes on, not all, but a good amount of costumes on display. We're seeing some cool Sentinel stuff, some X Mansion stuff. And then, obviously, I think that's going to be probably the bigger highlight of the San Diego Comic Con stuff tomorrow is going to be that Avengers Doomsday stuff. But Robert, what other things are you like? What is your dream panel that we're going to get from Marvel? And then as well, anybody in the chat, what are some projects you want to hopefully hear about from Marvel that we're getting? What are some things that you've maybe heard about in the past that we're gonna hopefully hear more about, or maybe stuff we haven't heard about at all that's on that wish list? But Robert, what about you? And keep in mind, there is a separate panel for Marvel Animation.
Yes.
So there is going to be a separate Marvel Animation panel. So there's probably going to be more like MCU heavy. But anyway, go ahead, Rob.
Alex, I want you to picture this.
Okay, picturing
A dark Hall H.
Dark Hall Age.
And then out of nowhere, on the big screen, you see boom, a red X surrounded by black. Ba-na-na-na-na-na, ba-na-na-na-na-na. I'm telling you right now, my dream Hall H sort of thing would be the announcement of the entire cast of the X-Men. Do I think we're going to get it this year? Hell no. Do I think we're going to get it next year? I honestly think this is unfortunately going to be just a YouTube video that we're going to get of the announcement of the cast. Because I do think as soon as the cast is done, boom, they're going to be jumping immediately into a story. But I want to know, I'm begging Kevin Feige, I'll send you my email address. Tell me what is the cast you are looking for X-Men and what is going to be the future of mutants within the MCU. I'm
Like
so
literal
excited.
actors cast or like lineup?
No, I want to know the lineup. I want to know
Okay.
the original. What is going to be the first class lineup of this? Where are we
Mhm.
going with this? Because honestly, the more I think about this, Alex, the more that like the closer Doomsday gets, and of course we're going to talk about the trailer a little bit later, right? Is that the more stuff I'm seeing about the X-Men currently right now makes me so worried for the X-Men that are going to be coming after, because it is, you are getting so much X-Men content without us having an actual mainline. This is going to be our X-Men cast. These are going to be our X-Men stories. Because one, you have X-Men 97 right now killing it. You're never, ever, ever, and I'm saying this right now, ever going to make a story as weird and as great as the original X-Men comics and the original X-Men TV show, because that is just something you can do in animation. I'm sorry, we're never getting Starjammers. We're never going to see the Shi'ar Empire. I don't think we're ever going to see any of that stuff that makes the X-Men, because they are
Yeah,
so afraid to take that step out. Like even the Guardians of the Galaxy, I would still say is very safe. It's a very safe
definitely.
sort of thing, because it is like, hey, we have something to attach it to with like this 1980s sort of music, this 1990s music, this sort of
Yeah.
weird punk vibe in there. And then
And then
as oh no,
Guardians is also, well, I was just gonna say Guardians is also like a globe trotting planet to planet sci-fi thing. And since the 70s, we've had no shortage of that. People are not unfamiliar with that, but you're going to, again, like you're saying, you're going to explain to an audience the Shi'ar Empire.
yeah.
You're going to explain to an audience the crazy time traveling shit. You're gonna bring up Cable and Cyclops, and an audience is gonna be like, "Huh." I just feel like there's but that also is why X-Men is so beloved.
Hmm.
That's at the core of X-Men. But sorry, go ahead. I was just thinking about that.
Yeah, of course. And then like when it comes to Doomsday, the Doomsday of it all, I'm sorry. Like, it is awesome. I'm so excited to see these characters back in action again. But I think it's just like my excitement for the X-Men. But you are bringing these characters again for the first time with in the MCU, bringing in the stories from the Fox universe. And it's like, hey, remember these X-Men? Cool. Batua, throw them away after this movie and let's start again. Because it's the same thing with like the issue that I have with Brand New Day, where like nothing really happens. I mean, are they going to forget the X-Men? How is like the again, this is gonna be with like kind of both Spider-Man and X-Men. It's like, how would you explain the Green Goblin to a Peter Parker that knows the Green Goblin already? Oh,
Yeah.
so cool. You can't do that. Boom, throw that out of there. You can't do Doc Ock now. You can't do this because like all these other characters are going to meet these X-Men from the other universe, and it's like, oh hey, now we have mutants. This is our Cyclops. I met a Cyclops once before. Blah 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 blah. Now we're never going to be able to get away from those legacy characters, and that sucks. That sucks for this new class of X-Men that eventually, when we do get it, is going to be out there. Do I think we
Yeah.
could have walked around it? Absolutely. I think it could have just been that one sort of like sneak peek sort of thing that was in the end of the Marvels, and that was like, oh hey, cool, Kelsey Grammer's here. But I don't know. It's just the more that I think about it, it just it sucks more and more. But my dream Hall H panel is going to be where they talk about the lineup, the cast, and who is going to be the first big bad, because it cannot be Magneto. I'm sorry. It should not be Magneto.
Really?
I think so, because it's like everything else has been Magneto. It's kind of like if they did for Homecoming. It's like, cool, we're doing Green Goblin. It's like, cool. The other two iterations of Green Goblin that we already got. Let's do a third one. No, I'm glad they went with the Vulture to do that. Also, I don't know if you heard. I'm just going on rambling now. That before, what's it called? Oh my God, what's his name? Michael. Oh my God. No, the Vulture. Who the Vulture in?
Oh, yes, I know exactly what
Yeah.
you're gonna say. Before we had Michael Keaton
Yes, it was gonna
as
be
the
Lin Manuel
Vulture.
Miranda.
Yeah, they were offering it to Lin-Manuel Miranda. And oh god, that was wild to see. So guys, if y'all know what we're talking about, there was an interview with Lin-Manuel Miranda, Mr. Hamilton himself, talking about how he was offered the role of Vulture before it went to Michael Keaton. And can you imagine if that would have been I think the memes would have been absolutely fucking insane. Like so okay. So Robert, that's your dream panel, X-Men
Yes.
stuff. And we'll round back, talk about more X-Men. Before I talk about my dream panel, I do want to hit on some of the stuff people have been saying in the chat. Really quick, we did have some people. I know again, Marvel Animation is technically going to have a separate panel, but a lot of people are talking about Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man season 2 trailer. And I would love that. Have you seen Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man season 1?
I have not, but it's on my list to start this
So
weekend.
fucking good. It's so I cannot overstate how good that show is actually. Like if season 2 is of the same quality, I think it rivals Spectacular for me.
Wow.
But let's see here. Okay, and then some people, I know we're talking about Marvel, but Solarpunk mentioned we had some great DC Comics announcements, and I was going to talk about it at the top, and I just forgot because we started, going into it. But really quick, I'm going to hit on it, guys. DC finally has announced 2 new.
Oh God! What did they announce, Alex? What did they announce? I know what they announced. They announced two new ongoing things, which is going to be the Vixen comic line, and then it's also going to be the Static new series as well. That's crazy. He just got fucking blipped. I guess like DC had James Gunn himself sniped him. They're trying to silence him, literally. First Rob Liefeld, now this. I can't believe it. Batman got Alex. Oh, okay, here we go. I think he's coming back right here. Are you alive?
Like I was saying, and I wasn't interrupted in the slightest. Sorry, I don't know what the last thing I said was, but can you see me? Am I good?
Yes, you're good. You're talking about the two new
I'm not
lines.
pixelated. Oh yes, look at that. The white men try to hold down the black men again. So anyway, DC announced 2 new ongoing titles, which is Static and Vixen. They're gonna have 2 new ongoing titles. Really quick, I do want to just mention the creative teams. I was super excited about this. So the Vixen title is going to be written by Stephanie Williams and with Kari Randolph as the artist. And then our Static series is going to be written by Cody Ziegler with Diego I'll be honest with you. I'm forgetting how to pronounce his last name. My apologies. But it's Diego Ar- Alorthigu. Alorthigu, I think that's how I said it.
Could not tell you.
But anyway, I was super hyped about that. Those are Alorthigi. Alorthigi. My wife's in the background yelling at me
Thank you,
because
Christina.
earlier I was like, how do I pronounce this? I want to pronounce it right. It's a big thing of mine whenever I'm talking about creatives. If I'm mentioning a name, I need to pronounce it right because I'm not gonna be one of those Anthony Macaki guys when they're saying Anthony Mackie. Anyway, but yeah, so there's some great stuff coming out from DC as well. Let's see here. I don't want Wolverine to be in the X-Men.
I agree.
I agree as well.
Yeah,
I 100%. I don't want Wolverine anywhere near this. Somebody said Batman got Alex. DC is silencing Alex. I love that. This one I love. Kane Oxley says DC, or there's a rumor. Sorry, there's a rumor. Sam Raimi is trying to do a fourth Spider-Man movie, a prequel following Tobey and Andrew's time at No Way Home. I personally would love that.
I'm good.
No fucking way, Robert. You're
I'm
insane, bro.
I'm sorry. We're in this era of nostalgia bait, and that is nostalgia
That's
bait.
the good kind.
No, I'm good.
That's
I'm good.
No, you're wild. You're insane because there's a level of nostalgia. Okay. Listen, bro. You're excited about. Are you excited about the X-Men being in Doomsday? Are you excited about the X-Men being in Doomsday? Just yes or no.
Yeah.
Yes or no. Yeah. You're excited about a franchise with a 1-0 batting average where half the movies fucking suck, but you're not down for a Spider-Man 4, bro? Where that you're insane. You're insane. That is wild. You're fucking ridiculous. I can't believe that. You're nuts. Joe, can you walk in there and slap him in the back of the head? No, she's just in the chat. Sorry. Mrs. Moon getting excited. It's Rob Liefeld Sniper. I hate you, bro. I absolutely hate that.
Thank you.
But no, I would be down for Toby. But so I want to get to mine real quick. My dream Hall H panel for Marvel. Robert looking at the door.
No, my wife opened up the door and said, "Did someone call me?" With like fixed up.
No. So my dream Hall H panel. I'm a little bit like you. I do want to know more about the X-Men stuff. If we're going into this new era, I want to know more about the X-Men. But we also know at this point that we're getting a soft reboot for Marvel.
Mm.
I would like to know what we're keeping is my big thing. You know, like, are we getting Shang-Chi too? Tell me if it's being worked on. Mm-hmm. Are we getting, more the Marvels, more Miss Marvel, any of that stuff? Tell me about that. Are we getting any more Ironheart stuff? Are we getting these other characters that we haven't put a lot into? I want to know. Are we getting another Sam Wilson Captain America? I want to know. And not just him. I just want to know, obviously there's stuff that we're keeping. We're not totally rebooting the universe. I want to know when the next Fantastic Four is, if they're working on it. I want to know more about X-Men. I want to know more about these other characters like Shang-Chi that deserve sequels, that deserve more movies. That would be my big thing, but I am like you, where I want a more firm direction on where we are going, because there was no firm direction for this last phase. Go ahead.
2 questions for you for this Hall H that you really want.
Yeah.
Speaking of like those movies, one, Noodle said in here, I'm pretty sure the Thunderbolts are being kept. Do you see another new Avengers / Thunderbolts movie coming out ever?
I personally don't. I don't see a new. I mean, if we're keeping the Thunderbolts, that's fine. I don't think we're going to get an additional Thunderbolts / New Avengers film. I think it would be like, oh, they're going to be thrown in with the Avengers. Oh, they're going to be, they're going to be part of the team at large. I think, honestly, it is more likely that we would get a West Coast Avengers before we get another Thunderbolts, another New Avengers. I think that is much more likely. But yeah, so that was the first one. What was the other one? You said there was 2.
The second one is, I am 100% sure we're going to get a Sam Captain America movie. 100% sure. What is your dream for your next Sam Wilson? Like, if you're picking from any of the comics, what would you want for the next villain or main story to be for Sam Wilson?
Oh, I want Marvel to grow some cojones, and I want the AmeriCorps storyline from the Nick Spencer run. And Rob, I don't think you've read it. Rob, if you do you
Expand
have
upon it.
Marvel Unlimited?
I do. I literally just re-downloaded it last night because I finished X-Men '97 and I was like, "Fuck, I got to get back in there."
Dude,
Go ahead.
read the Sam Wilson Nick Spencer run. I fucking promise you, you won't regret it, bro. It is genuinely so good. And as you're reading it, you're gonna be like, was this written yesterday? With some of the fucking themes that are in this story. Anyway, it's so good. And I think Brain was in the chat. I'm not sure if he's still here, but I had turned him onto it and he was absolutely ingesting it. But anyway, oh shit. But like, yeah, the AmeriCorps story is, and I've talked about this before in my videos, it's a story. I'm going to just say what it is. It's an ICE story, essentially.
Okay.
There are these privatized AmeriCorps cops that come into different cities working with the government that are policing and making places safe, but they're over policing neighborhoods with different
Mhm.
cultures, neighborhoods that aren't just white people, essentially. And Sam Wilson has to be like, I'm supposed to be Captain America for everybody, but it also doesn't feel right to not step in when I know that there's injustice going on here.
Mhm.
I think that would be great. But the biggest thing outside of the story is I want Sam to stand on his own. I don't need, because as of right now, Sam has not been allowed to stand on his own as Captain America. He's been linked up with Bucky. He's been linked up to a Hulk sequel. He's been linked up with this new Avengers movie. He has not gotten the opportunity to just be his own version of Captain America. That's really my big thing. But yeah, the Nick Spencer stuff, honestly, anything from that Nick Spencer run is amazing. We have Brain over here saying, yes, preach Alex, Nick Spencer run hits. I would love a Sam Wilson run adapted into a TV series. That genuinely, even better, honestly. Let's see here. I think
How
they're also going to do
would you
Century's origins from
feel?
the comics where everyone forgets him. Honestly, I think you can't do that personally.
How would you feel if Sam Wilson was relegated to just being a TV show Captain America?
I would not be upset about
Okay.
it personally. I would. Well, here's the thing. I wouldn't be upset if because if this was like a Hulk situation where we're not going to get new Sam Wilson movies, if he's in Avengers films, I'd be okay with it.
Okay.
Because currently in the comics, we kind of have that. There is not an active, ongoing Sam Wilson run, but he has been in the Avengers books for a while as Captain America. Okay, so like I'd be okay with it. Would it kind of suck? Yeah, but also I'm just gonna say it. Marvel had more balls to tell certain stories with Sam in Falcon and the Winter Soldier than they did on the big screen.
Hmm.
So like if that is the medium that Marvel has to stoop to give us actual stories with that character the way that he deserves, that sucks. But again, like the Blade thing, if that's going to serve the story better, if that's going to serve the character better, then sure. Like I wouldn't be insanely opposed to that personally. Like if they announced a Captain America Symbol of Truth series and it's just a TV show similar to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I'm okay with it as long as the writing is good. That's the big thing for me.
Right.
But yeah, but Rob, I do want to pivot from that, not just so to going from our wish list to talking about the stuff that we've actually gotten
Hmm.
from Marvel. Robert, this week we got the Doomsday trailer
We did.
for Avengers. And safe to say it hit the internet and people had some opinions. Some good, some bad, some are shills. And I usually see myself in that category, but not this time. Um, Robert, I would like to. I've talked about this shit at nauseum. I've made a bunch of videos. I've gotten hate. I got told to kill myself already. I
Heard.
want I want your opinion on this Doomsday trailer that we got.
I think the Doomsday trailer is completely mildly okay. I like. Don't get me wrong. I am so excited for the X Men. Like honestly, anytime I think about this, I'm just excited to see any X Men representation in this goddamn movie. And you know what? If this is the way I'm gonna get it until we're able to get the full cast, then sure. But overall, I'm just so whelmed. I guess that's just the word. Where I'm like, cool. Like, there's a lot of really interesting things that are going on in this, but it just everything just feels so undeserved. It just feels so. I don't want to say like lifeless, but it feels kind of lifeless. Like, don't get me wrong. Like seeing some of the stuff, I'm like, oh, that's really cool. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it. I don't give a shit about Shuri. I don't care. I don't think like I
Robert
still
hates blood. No, I'm kidding.
no. I think I really loved Black Panther 2, but I don't think it solidified her being a fantastic Black Panther to me.
Hmm.
So if this is where I'm going to get that, very excited. I know for sure. Also, they announced Black Panther. Well, they're going to be hopefully saying some stuff about Black Panther 3 tomorrow during the Hall H thing. So I'm very excited to see more about that. If we get any sort of like concept art or anything, that'd be awesome. I'm very excited for that. The Fantastic Four, very whelmed by that as well.
I love
I'm
them.
just like, cool, like that looks awesome, I guess. I don't know. I did really fuck with Robert Downey Jr.'s accent as Doom.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm glad they're keeping in the Romani sort of stuff, kind of going in there. Do I think a Romani actor probably should have played it? Probably. Uh, but it just seems so like they are rushing to the finish line to get to Battle World so they can reset the timeline or whatever
Yeah.
to reboot the MCU, which I do think it is sorely needed. I'm also one of the big people that I think that the comics timeline should also be rebooted.
You're
Um,
wild.
I just think there's so much within the comics that just overlaps onto each other. And it's like, how is Peter Parker still 20 years old, but he's had all these different, years of whatever. Um, but that's an aside. Like I said, I'm interested. I bought my tickets. I bought my tickets literally. You know what was really surprising to me about this?
Mm.
The tickets went out last Thursday, right? I think.
Yeah, the day the trailer dropped.
Yeah. So whenever the trailer dropped, usually all the showings are sold out. I was
Mhm.
able to get my tickets for me and my wife very easily
Really?
for this movie. Yeah, like it
See,
was
so I am
3 days after the trailer came out. By the way.
that is wild. So I'm a little lazy shitty boy, and Mrs. Moon bought ours, and I know that she. Hey, babe, how long were you in the queue for the Avengers Doomsday trailer or tickets? 25 minutes. She was in a queue for 25 minutes
Yeah,
waiting to get tickets.
I had no trouble whatsoever. I found two perfect seats next to each other for the two of us, and there were still more in our row, still more behind and stuff like that. So
Dang.
I think it's certain. I don't think that there is superhero fatigue. I think that there is fatigue for how kind of loose the MCU has been playing lately, and I'm very excited to just get through these next two movies, which sounds awful. To get through the next two movies, Secret War and Doomsday, so we can get this reboot and see what the brand new MCU looks like, because I think it is sorely needed. Not saying the movies are bad. Don't tell me to kill myself. But I do think that like this is definitely needed to get us the Sam Wilson stuff that we need, to get us
Yeah.
new Spider-Man stuff, to get us new Fantastic Four stuff where
You're saying it feels
everything
like
is in the
this
same.
is the hurdle we have to. This is the vegetables we have to eat before we get to the good part of the meal. Like,
Exactly.
okay,
1000%. Yeah.
okay. Well, before I go off of what I think, also, guys, I see some of y'all have. If y'all have any more thoughts on the trailer, please throw it in the chat. I'd love to check it out. Real quick, I want to read some of the stuff in the chat here. Noodle said the trailer was so buns. Mystique looks like Sharon Osbourne. Um, Notice how this movie got announced after a few Marvel flops. Ooh. They should have recast Chadwick, IDK. Why they didn't? That's a hot take that sometimes I feel like I have, and sometimes I go back and forth on it, honestly, because uh,
Solar
yeah,
from
it's hard. It's hard. Like, there's a part of me that's like they should have done it, and push back the film. There's another part of me it's like, but it's not just a machine of movies. These are all people that knew him and wanted to respect
yeah.
him in that way. So,
I do
Brain
think
says,
I
sorry,
do think Black Panther 2 was a great movie and it needed to be made, because you have to mention Chadwick leaving no matter what. And I think the
yeah.
story that was told was the perfect story to be told in that moment.
I kind of agree. I think, we just watched Iron Man 2 with Baby Moon. It's not like Don Cheadle walking up and being like, I'm not Terrence Howard, get over it. Like,
Mhm.
you definitely got to do a lot more there. Sam Wilson's now my top 5 heroes. I'm so glad, broski. Let's see here. I'm still struggling to get my brand new day tickets, but I have my Doomsday tickets for the first IMAX screening. That is wild, actually. Can we agree Marvel's Infinity Vision is marketing BS? It 100%
Yes.
is.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
Mrs. Moon was like, should we, you know, 'cause she bought our tickets and she's like, after I saw there was Infinity Vision, should I buy another showing for Infinity Vision? And I was like, no, No, because it's just bullshit. It's not even real.
That's the only thing that I had around me. So I was like, ah, sure, whatever. I had to look
Well,
up what the
but
fuck
you
it
know what
was.
Infinity Vision is, right?
It's just like a certificate saying that the movie's going to be good.
Yeah, it's essentially like these are the standards that we think a movie theater should meet.
Hmm.
And if it meets it, we get to throw on it's an Infinity Vision. It's not a new format. It's
Hmm.
not a new screen. It's not a new sound system. It's like, hey, are you reaching the right blood pressure? Perfect. Like that's what's going on.
Yeah.
Um, so let me give my thoughts and then I'll address one of the other things I'm seeing here. But Robert, I agree with you. When I saw the trailer, and you can see my reaction on my TikTok page, you know, there are parts that I was excited about. I genuinely, there are parts where I'm like, that looks cool. That looks cool. And I had to like turn off my caveman brain because by the end of it, I was like, well, some of that stuff did look cool. It was hollow. You know what I mean? And the best thing that I can say is it felt like I was watching like a child play with their action figures and just put them together and fight. And as they're going, they're like, oh, also, I'm the coolest superhero. I'm gonna give the big speech. And it's not earned. Thor
Hmm.
is not the speech giving character like that. You know, and this whole Steve Rogers reveal that was already fucking spoiled for us months ago, half a year ago, we knew Steve Rogers. No, it was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was at the end of Avatar, so we've known for about a year
Yeah.
almost. Steve Rogers is going to be in this goddamn movie, and them being like, you know, we're going to need a miracle, and it's Steve Rogers. Fuck you, bro. What do you mean? And like, I also I think you hit it right on the head. I'm definitely whelmed by a lot of it. Like, I super excited to see Shang Chi? Hella excited to see Shang Chi. Am I excited to see Gambit back? I am so excited to see Channing Tatum's puffy face fitting into that mask. And you know, outside of that, like it's cool to see these things. Like, let me. The best way I can describe it is this movie reminds me of, I'm sorry, Robert, it reminds me of 80s and 90s X-Men stuff where the comic covers look so fucking cool. And I want to buy it all because the comic covers look great. But if you crack open some of that's just like incomprehensible. Like it's I'm sorry, Robert. I'm sorry.
But this comic is really good. It's the one where Magneto goes to when Magneto's on trial. So like that
Okay,
one's good.
see,
That one's
but
good.
that's not all of them. And I'm saying X Men 'cause that's the one that comes to mind. But a lot of there are comics that do that, where you're like, wow, this Daredevil cover looks great. Oh, it's the Ahmed run. So like, you know, it's just it's one of those things where, yeah, this movie feels like that to me. I'm like, some of this stuff looks really cool, but it feels hollow. It feels like, you know, we didn't lead up to, and I get it. A bunch of people are like, I'm tired of there's no lead up argument. But even in this trailer, there's no lead up. We saw Doctor Doom proper twice in this trailer. Why do we care? What is he after? What are we doing? And that's the thing. There's a thing in movies where it's show, don't tell.
Hmm.
And this trailer worked very hard to tell us why we should be afraid of Doctor Doom. It is Thor going, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, okay, but is it? And then, you know, this guy, I mean, Thanos had you crying for months, so, or years. And then, yeah, we get that action moment of him stopping Stormbreaker. Why do I care about that?
I can't
There's no build
imagine.
up to, it's just like oh it reminds me like the Doctor Doom that we see in this trailer is the equivalent of the kid on the playground going, actually I got Superman powers and I won. And I'm like, but why? And you know, people are like, it's the first trailer. I went back to make sure I wasn't fucking crazy. In the first Age of Ultron trailer, we knew he wanted to take out the human race. In the
Hmm.
first Infinity War trailer, we knew that he was collecting the stones. In the Endgame trailer, we knew they were going to try to do something to either bring people back or to avenge them. That was the whole thing. We know what they're doing. In this trailer, we don't know if they're trying to stop the incursions. We don't know if they're trying to fight Doctor Doom. We don't know if he's you know, it's he's supposedly a villain according to this little thing, but then I'm just going to say there are certain things out there that if they're to be believed, he could be an ally. And it's like, so what the fuck are you doing with this? Sorry, I'm spitting everywhere. But anyway, I don't know. This trailer has me like hella I'm excited. No, sorry, that's not the right word. I am more curious about the movie than I am excited. I am so excited to see Sam Wilson back. I'm so excited to see Shang-Chi and some of these other characters. But another thing that I want to point out is it almost feels hollow to see some of these characters in there. Like
Mhm.
Shang-Chi, as excited as I am to see him, how many fucking years has it been since we've seen Shang-Chi? I don't for those of y'all watching or listening, I want to put something into perspective. Iron Man 2 came out in 2010. Captain America and Thor came out in 2011. All those characters showed up in the Avengers in 2012. And then they had more movies in between. And in 2014, they were in Age of Ultron. Then there were a few more movies in between. And then in 2018, they were in Infinity War. And then the next year, they were in Endgame. There was at maximum 3 years between some of these things. It has been like 4 fucking years since the last Black Panther movie. It has been 3 to 4 years since Shang-Chi. It has been like so long between us seeing these characters that I'm almost like, did you forget to remind the audience why we give a shit? Like about these characters, and now just because you're throwing them in there, am I glad to see Simu? Yeah. Am I glad to see Anthony Mackie? Yeah. Am I glad to see the Fantastic Four? Yeah. But it just feels hollow. It feels
Yeah.
hollow is the biggest thing. Um,
I also can't imagine people that do not have any sort of connection to Doctor Doom at all and seeing this trailer and being like, wait, so what the fuck can he do? Like,
yeah.
and having to explain, depending on how much they're going to go in for Doctor Doom. Are they just going to do like his brilliant mind, or are they going to do Sorcerer Supreme Doctor Doom? What are they going to do? Because they have two other points of references, at least mainline pop culture outside of the comics. They have the first Fantastic Four trilogy, and then they have
Duology.
duology, and then you have Fan Four Stick, and neither one of those is a good representation of Doom. So it's like, how are they going to make this kind of hit that, as
Mhm.
well as eventually when they're going to show RDJ's face, like eventually unless like for all of it he wears just the mask the entire time, which honestly I think I'd prefer. It's just like don't
Just
show
give him
me
a
RDJ.
prosthetic nose. No, I'm being so dead ass. Like, give him a prosthetic nose, give him a fucking five head, and we can know that it's Robert Downey Jr. I just don't want like a bunch of people are like when he takes off his mask and Tony and everybody or Steve and everybody sees that it looks like Tony. I don't want that.
I don't want
Like
that either.
I don't want a variant thing. I want it to be Victor Von Doom. Like if he takes off his mask, I either want him to be wearing a prosthetic that we can't tell he's supposed to be Tony Stark, or the characters just don't fucking mention it. Like,
Hmm.
and I know in one case, it's like, so then why cast Robert Downey Jr.? Thank you very much for thinking that. Welcome to the party. We've all been here. You know, I don't know. I don't know. Um, Robert, do you have any other thoughts on that trailer while I kind of see these comments here?
No, that's really about it. Those were kind of my mainline things. I mean, the Gambit stuff looks dope. Excited to see Simu in there. Of course, also X Men. X Men are always going to be great, but I just think that this is going to be a crazy 2 hours and whatever minutes of just some straight Marvel, just throwing stuff in our face, just to be like, cool. We'll see you next year for Secret Wars. Uh, I don't know. Like I said, I just need to get over this hurdle so we can get to the good stuff. But no matter
Yeah.
what, I'm very excited to see Brand New Day also coming up next week.
Yeah, and we'll be talking about that in just a second. So, really quick, also the jackets for the Fantastic Four, especially Sue, looks so cheap. I'm not a fan of the jackets, honestly.
Yeah.
um, which is nuts because normally they're like, we got to do something to differentiate this so we can sell new products. But then also they give certain characters just the same goddamn costume. I don't get it. Literally rolled my eyes when Steve showed up. Kind of same. Um, I'm gonna be honest. Marvel doesn't know how to handle their powerhouses. I kind of agree.
Hmm.
Should have swapped out Galactus for Doom. Had Doom in First Steps and Galactus in Avengers. I kind of agree with that.
That
I
sounds
think
better.
yeah, that would have been much better. And that feels like it would have been a threat that like we could have been like, yeah, like can you imagine Hulk making that speech, but it's Galactus?
Hmm.
That would have made so much more fucking sense. But anyway, Robert, I don't want to go over too much. So really quick, we have Brand New Day coming out this week.
Hmm.
And are you hype? And what are your hopes for Brand New Day? What are your predictions? What are your, How do you feel this movie's going to go? Because we've been talking about it on and off for months. And sometimes we're like, this feels like a mess. Sometimes we're like, this seems like it could be really good. What are your thoughts? Are you excited for Brand New Day?
I think at this point, when you're on a roller coaster and you're climbing up to the very top, and the entire time it's like, what's this gonna feel like? Am I gonna feel that pit in my stomach when I go down? Am I gonna scream? Am I gonna do whatever? I feel like that's been the past couple of months as we've been talking, right? And I feel
Mm-hmm.
now we're at the precipice. We're at the very, very top, and we're seeing just the entire world at the very bottom. We're about to go down there. So I feel like at this point, my hands are up in the air, and I'm just waiting for whatever is going to happen with this movie. I think the latest trailer that's come out looks pretty cool. The last little joke that they have of the trailer where Ned's like, it says Spider Man's like right around the corner, and he's like, oh no way. I think that's hilarious. I'm very excited for that. I still do think I'm on my high horse of being like, we don't need more MJ. We don't need more Ned. I think it could have been great to see the entire cast of characters of Spider-Man to start coming in. Maybe they'll introduce them. Maybe they won't. Who knows? I'm excited to see Sadie Sink and eventually see what she's going to play. I do think I'm starting to lean kind of away from her being Jean Grey, but I'm still hoping that she is Jean Grey because I think she would be perfect. I think she'd be fantastic.
I have a hot take on who I think she is.
I'm ready.
I think she's Rogue.
That would be fucking insane.
I think we're doing Rogue, and I think we're doing a similar storyline to the first X-Men film, where Rogue is being used to take someone else's powers to cause certain things to happen.
Well, then who would you think that power she's taking?
That I don't know. That
Yeah.
I mean, but it could also be, again, the big thing with mutants and Inhumans both in the comics is you can just come up with a fucking barf character. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like you can just that we don't even have to know. You know who like it doesn't have to be Emma Frost. It doesn't have to be Professor X. It doesn't have to be a Jean Grey. She still empowers from. It could be like this is Susan McAllister and she's a telepath. Touch her, Rogue. Like that's it. Like you for X-Men, the whole thing is everyone can be a mutant, and
Mhm.
there's so many mutants out there that you can just do that shit. That's why in the X-Men comic books, it's always like, are we gonna run out of villains? No, because we can just make up new ones, and they don't need a fucking origin story. It can just
Yeah.
be like I was watching TV one day, and then when I was ordering my ShamWow, I realized I can explode. Like it's just that's just how it goes sometimes. But that's my hot take on that. I want to say though, I think, and I've been saying this for a while, I think this movie's either going to be like I think there's no in between. This is going to be the best Spider-Man film, or it's going to be one of the fucking worst ones. I
I don't
don't.
think it'll be one of the worst ones. I do think it'll be, if it's not peak, it'll be at least an enjoyable movie. It'll be Far From Home, where
I don't think it's possible.
I think it'll be fine. I don't think it can get worse than
Whoa, whoa,
Spider-Man
whoa, 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 whoa!
3.
Did you say enjoyable movie and then you said Far From Home?
Far From Home is an enjoyable movie.
Get out of here!
Far From Home is an enjoyable
Get out of
movie.
here, Joe! Can you come smack
What
him in
is
the back
not
of the
good
head?
about Far From Home?
What was that?
So what is not enjoyable about Far From Home?
Okay, perfect. I have a laundry list. This is my same issues that I have with some of the Captain America stuff. Is this is not a Peter Parker fucking story. This is a Peter Parker trying to fit in again to Iron Man's shoes. It's this whole like it's literally story wise and visually superficial bad guy bullshit. Like, is Mysterio kind of cool? Yeah. Do they do anything interesting with him visually outside of one fucking scene? No, they do. And you can't tell me they do. He has fucking
Hydro Man.
drones.
Yeah, of course, because they have to bring it in some sort of. They're not going
No,
to do the
I
mystical
hear
shit.
you. I hear you. But we find out that he has drones, and then we just see fucking drones. There's nothing like like go back to the comics.
You see
Anything
the
that you see with
outside. He
Mysterio.
dives in. You see the drones. He starts bringing. You see the
Oh,
illusions start coming down.
but it
Yes.
looks so hollow and bullshit, and then the movie tries to justify it by going, "That's because it is hollow and bullshit." No, and it again does this multiverse bullshit. We find out it's not even real Nick Fury. The whole movie, by
That I
the end
agree.
of it,
That I agree.
thank you.
The
The
Nick
whole
Fury
movie,
stuff.
by the end of it, is made irrelevant. The only thing that happens in that movie that carries over to the other films is the MJ learning that he's Peter Parker, because even the issue of, oh, everybody knows I'm Peter Parker, it's dealt with in 4 fucking seconds at the beginning of the next movie. There's no repercussions for him legally. He's just out in the world, and I get it. It's the setup, right? All that movie did was serve to set up the third fucking movie. There's nothing in that movie
And
that
set
makes
up
it
Daredevil
stand on
Born
its
Again. But
own.
yeah, go on. Yeah.
What
And
was that?
Daredevil Born Again with the Vigilante Act. But yeah, yeah. I mean, like to me, that's what it is. It was the beginning of like the vigilante stuff in the MCU, where it's like, hey, like Spider-Man is seen as this menace, and of course we're going to take that and we're going to start the vigilante stuff.
It's
So hey, like
it's just Iron Man 2, but Spider-Man.
that's crazy. That's a
That
crazy thing.
what?
That is crazy. You're a crazy man.
It's the same shit.
You're crazy.
Anyway, I personally think it's gonna be the best one or the worst one. And Robert, before we get going, I do want to bring up one last thing. I want to get your thoughts on. There has been a hey, I loved Far From Home. You can go hang out with Robert. What Rob really wants is TASM 3. Robert, would you, if they announced TASM 3, would you be excited about TASM 3?
Fuck no.
Okay. Okay. I was about to lose my goddamn mind if you were going to tell me you were excited about TASM 3 and not a Spider-Man 4.
Get Toby out of there. Get Andrew out of there. They had their time. Stop bringing stuff from other things and throwing it at this fucking MCU. Let it grow. That's fine. I get it that you bought all the properties and you want to play with their fucking toy action figures. Throw them away. They're done. Now you can just use the stuff that you have before. Play with those blocks. Just stop. Stop.
You're insane. You're absolutely insane. That Robert, I think, and I don't tell you this a lot because I love you. I think that was one of your worst takes, honestly.
What?
I think that's crazy. Mr. I like X-Men 97 is tired of them bringing in old shit? What the fuck are you on about?
Because they're doing something completely different with X-Men 97.
What? It's the same thing. What do you mean?
It's just a continuation, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's just, and if they did a TASM 3, it wouldn't be a continuation?
No.
You're insane.
That's
You're
done.
insane.
It's done.
That is
because
wild.
If they do a TASM 3, it's going to be attached to Sony. It's not going to be attached to the MCU. So what's the point? When the Marvel 92, now Marvel 97, it's under the Marvel Animation branch. That's not going to be controlled by by Disney. It's going to be controlled by fucking Sony. So it's just going to be another fucking Venomverse bullshit. That sure, if you enjoyed Venom, you enjoyed it, but it's not a part of the MCU. And then they're going to find a way to fucking shoehorn it into the MCU because, oh, you remember that they were there for fucking No Way Home? So that means technically that is in the MCU now. No, it's fucking not. No, it's not. That's its own bullshit. Get that shit away from me.
But Venom is in the MCU now.
Is he?
Yes, he is. He's in the wider multiversal shit. Same with Blade. Same with Daredevil. Same with all the Toby and Andrew movies. You're insane. You're insane.
Solarpunk wanted to do a quick shout out. He said, anyone that wants to chat about San Diego Comic-Con, I'm going live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time talking about DC announcements. I'll be live with Jordan, the nerd of good, chatting about day one of San Diego Comic-Con. So definitely move on from here to go check out Solarpunk stuff. That's going to be really, really cool.
97 season 1 was pretty bad.
That's fucking insane. Wild. That's wild. That's
You're
a wild
insane.
take.
That is an insane take.
I think we use bad for anything that is below your expectations. Bad is bad. Bad is like, this is not enjoyable. But if you have your expectations up so high that nothing is going to meet those expectations, then I think that is something on like you need to examine about the way you review things, because there's definitely bad things. But just because something is not like, oh, hey, this is perfect, I think you need to lower your expectations a bit so you're able to enjoy stuff rather than bring it down.
Like, I think Morbius was bad. Like, Morbius is like, this is terrible. But I will say, I don't think Madam Web was bad.
I haven't seen it.
I think there's a level of enjoyment there that you can have with Madam Web that you just can't with Morbius. Morbius was a fucking trudge to get through, dude. Okay, Robert, the thing I was trying to get to, they released a new Lanterns trailer.
Yes, sorry.
Okay, so last thing we'll talk about, they released a new Lanterns trailer, San Diego Comic-Con today. I have been very avidly, I fucking hate the Lanterns trailer that they released previously. Mm-hmm. I have not been excited. I think it looks like shit. Robert, they released a new trailer today. What do you think?
I think it looks great. Well, I think it looks good. Uh, I think like there's a lot of the stuff that we complained about the first time we watched the first trailer. Was like, where's the green? Where's the weird alien shit? And they're like, hey, Alex, Rob, shut up. Blah, here it is.
Yeah.
And you know the mention of the Manhunter stuff, awesome. Really cool to see them bring other stuff into it. I still do think that like it sucks that we are seeing how this part of his the part of his career where it seems like it's the end. I do really like Hal Jordan a lot, as well as I'm hoping that they keep him alive. So we'll see the multiple Green Lanterns on Earth. Um, I do think that would be a really cool way to, you know, have everyone butt heads against what it means to be a Green Lantern, what it means to have this will. We're already seeing stuff with like Guy Gardner being like kind of a dick, and as well as, you know, we have. I think one of the biggest things is that everyone seems like a dick in the show so far. So it's like, are they all just going to be characters that are mad at each other and always just be like dickish to each other? Because that's not always a great time. But overall, I think the CG doesn't look terrible. I think the story is going to be pretty good. Still wish it would be a little wackier. That's what I think about with Green Lantern. But overall, this made me more excited than I was before.
I'll tell you, Rob, I've been fully converted. I'm hype.
Really?
I'm hype as fuck. Yeah. No, I saw this new one, and like you said, it feels like all the bitching and moaning that I did. They went, okay, shut up, fatty, and then they gave me this, and I'm sitting there eating it. And I'm like, Goku, so much. Like it's so good. Like all the things that I talked about. Like yeah, if you're gonna do this cop drama or whatever, where's the craziness? Where's the Green Lantern shit? And we got more Green Lantern shit. I don't need it to be, you know, a spacefaring adventure with big mallets in the sky. I don't need that. But we got mention of the Manhunters. We can see some constructs in here. We see Sinestro in here. And I love his big, stupid purple head. You know, and I saw it and I was like, you know what? Fucking fair, fair, fair. Where do I kneel down and slurp? Like I was just like, okay, we're good, we're good. I'm really hype about it now. I'm super excited. They also released the Funkos. We got a little more of a look at Hal Jordan's new Green Lantern suit in Funko form. It looks good. It looks good. I don't know what the caca brown it was in the first trailer. In this one, it looks green. In the
Hmm.
Funko, it looks green, and I'm hyped for that. I'm super excited. We got more of the tidbits of story. We're actually seeing some of those alien aspects that I kind of wanted in the first trailer. And, you know, I think a lot of people go, well, the other one was just a teaser trailer. If this was the teaser trailer, I would have been locked in immediately,
Yeah, I agree.
you know? And I think, what is the point of showing a teaser trailer to not get anything the show is actually going to be? You know, or who's to say? Maybe they showed us the extent in this trailer of all the Green Lantern shit they're going to do, and they're going to do none of it. I don't know, but I have been reformed. I am the ending dance number of Shrek One right now.
I believe, I
Uh,
believe, I believe, I
yeah,
believe.
exactly. So I'm excited. I'm excited.
Hell yeah. I did want to. It seems a noodle. I'm not picking on you. I promise. For this, I appreciate you commenting. Says the
I am. No, I'm kidding.
DCU
Go ahead.
already seems to be losing its bright and colorful tone, though. Project 3. I mean, technically, like Project 6 or something like that. If we're counting, you know, Creature Commandos and what's it called, Peacemaker, and those are colorful as well. Superman's very colorful. Supergirl is very colorful. I do think that this is just the first divergence of like creative liberty. I would say that this is specifically being made to compare against. If we're specifically taking this to compare against the other stuff, yeah, it's like comparing absolute Batman to just regular Green Lantern. It's like those aren't the same story, of course, you know. So I think I don't think we're losing its colorful sort of stuff overall.
Yeah.
But I think it's specifically doing this to, hey, like this is in a desert town. It's gonna
Yeah.
be brown, unfortunately.
And I would say I think that's a deliberate choice for them to do the coloring how they're doing it in this, because at least for me, what I saw in this trailer was, yeah, it does look really dreary. It does look very flat and brown and like the opening of Fallout New Vegas. But that is because when they do these constructs, it's such a juxtaposition to the rest
Hmm.
of the world. It's like they look that fantastical because the rest of the world is almost devoid of color. So when you get this bright green emerald of these suits or these, these constructs that we've seen so far, I'm like, okay, like again, I think it's very purposeful, and I think to me, from what I've seen so far, from the visual language I'm seeing from this trailer, if they carry that throughout the show, I'm down. I'm extremely happy about that.
Likewise. Well, this has been another episode of the Geek Day podcast. Alex, this was fun.
It was fun.
We should do this again. Hope every Thursday when we have time and my things don't explode on my end.
Yeah, yeah. Something exploded.
No, I had just had to like fix something on my end with my mic
Mm.
from last time. Yeah. But
Is that
yes,
what we call hanky panky now?
yes, that's exactly what we call hanky Mickey now.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes,
No, sounds good. Yeah, Robert, I'm down to keep doing this until Disney stops paying us under the table to talk bad about
yes,
DC.
absolutely.
Um, but Robert,
But Alex, are you?
I was throwing it off to you, and
Oh, we'll
like a
see
bad host,
you.
you couldn't go with. We've done improv theater,
We
you
have done improv theater.
absolute nut bar.
We'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.